What's going on, Muscle Monsters? Alain Gonzalez here, and today I want to talk about the best training routine for skinny guys. Now, I want to say this before I get started. Your body type or bone structure does not determine the type of training you should be following. What determines the type of training you should be following is your training age, so how long you've been training, and your goals, all right? So with that in mind, if you are a naturally skinny guy or just a skinny guy in general, then chances are you're still in that beginner phase and you can take advantage of those newbie gains. And if you're not already taking advantage of them, then once you correct your nutrition and your training, then you can expect those awesome, amazing newbie gains. But again, if you're still skinny, then chances are you're still in that phase of your training, which is a great thing. Now, with that said, let's talk about a few principles that you must follow if you want to maximize that kind of newbie gain window, if you want to call it that. All right? So the first thing you want to focus on in your training, or you want your training to focus on, is some sort of progression. All right? More than likely, this is going to be in a linear fashion because, again, you're still in that beginner phase. Where you can progress, again, in a linear fashion. So maybe you're bench pressing 135 pounds for 4 sets of 8 on week 1, and then week 2 you have to do 135 pounds for 4 sets of 10. All right, that is linear progression. Or maybe you do 135 for 4x8 week 1, and then you knock out 140 4x8 week 2. You get the idea. So essentially you're getting stronger, you're increasing that workload on a weekly basis or in a linear fashion. So every time you do that specific exercise or workout, you're trying to outperform your last performance. If you are progressing in the gym and your nutrition is in order, then your body has no choice but to adapt and grow according to the workload. All right, it's really that simple. Another thing you want to focus on if you're a beginner is frequency. And the reason you want to focus on training frequency or performing certain exercises multiple times in the week is to really hammer down those motor unit patterns, right? To really get good at specific lifts. Because if you're going in the gym and you're switching it up, quote unquote, every day to try to confuse the muscle or whatever, what's going to end up happening is that you're not going to be able to progress in a linear fashion because you're not getting better at the lifts. All right? Which brings me to my next point, and that's avoid specialization training. A lot of the time, people are just getting into weightlifting and they want to know, okay, how do I get my arms bigger? Or things like that. They want to do like an arm day and they just started hitting the weights. All right, the problem with that is that your whole body is a weak point, right? So instead, you should really focus on bringing up overall muscle mass, overall size in general. And this is why we stick to, as our focal point, the big, heavy compound lifts, and we do them frequently, again, to hammer away at those motor unit patterns, to get better at the lifts, and then to progress in those lifts that are going to put more overall mass on our body in general. All right? So, I would not advise that you try to cook up your own program according to these principles, simply because plenty of people have already created programs for you that are free, that have been proven. So instead of going into the gym and worrying about, well, how many reps should I do? Well, your program, whatever program you decide to do, is already going to tell you how many reps, how to progress, and takes out all of the guesswork in your training, so you can just focus on training and getting bigger and better. All right? If you are in fact a beginner or a skinny guy who's trying to put on mass, then I give away my Mass in a Flash program. It's completely free. Just put your name and your email in the link below. Go there and you'll get instant access to that. If you have any questions regarding this video, leave them in the comments section, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.